Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Happy Death Day, starring Jessica Roth, Israel Broussard, Ruby Modine, Rachel Matthews, and Charles Atkin, and directed by Christopher Landon. Let's just get straight into this. I'm just going to just say I'm not looking forward to the sequel as much, but let's get into why in this movie. I do like the Universal logo going Groundhog Day. That's the only thing I liked about this movie, but overall, this movie's a Groundhog Day ripoff, and they've done this story so many times. The only two I can name at this point are these two movies. And those with Groundhog Day with Bill Murray is much better than this pile of crap. G.B.M.H, played by Jessica Roth, is the most annoying protagonist ever. She's not a very good character in general because she's not very nice, and she wakes up in a dorm room as she regrets it of Carter, played by Israel Broussard, who's not very caring as a character either, to be honest with you. Tree walks to her sorority house and acts like a tool to everyone, including her sorority sisters, including Lori, played by Ruby Modine. And I really don't like this character. In fact, I don't like any of these characters. They're very miserable to watch in this movie. At one point, Tree makes out with her professor, and I thought, what a dumb character. While Tree walks to a party because it's her birthday, and Lori baked a cupcake for Tree in specific for reasons I'll explain maybe at the end. Round 1 of the same day begins, and Tree is dreaming like she's having deja vu. The only difference is the professor kisses her, and the video of her mother, whom I guess is dead, and I guess her mother's death devastated her to not speak to nor see her father, and goes to the party and has some kind of kissing moment with a guy named Nick, and one of her sorority sisters, Danielle, acts like Tree is stealing him away from her. Now that round was rather weird because she makes it to the party and Danielle is being a spoiled little bitch with Tree and Nick in the same room together was just rather stupid. I didn't get the impression Danielle was dating Nick, but the script does a crummy job with letting me know who these characters are, in my opinion. Round 2. And Tree freaks out living the same day over and over again. Tree comes to her room and tells Lori about reliving the same day twice. Traps herself in her room and watches TV for a few minutes. Then it goes off and suddenly the baby-faced killer comes for and kills Tree rather easily. Was rather too convenient. Round 3. Right there, yeah. Of the same thing happening again, and Tree acts hysterical and asks Carter to help her find her killer and talks about them sleeping on different beds, and now she has to find her killer and stop it for good, and starts to find out Tim, the one who had a date with Tree that was off screen, is a gay man or homosexual, and that was convenient for me. Round 4 is throwing away her phone and to dye her hair pink as part of her blonde in some areas to find the professor's wife. Going on a date with her husband is lazy writing. Round 5, right here, is vomiting and fighting this step with Stephanie until getting ran over by a truck again. Very lazy writing. Round 6 is walking around naked and acting weird as hell and accidentally killing Becky, which is kind of a stupid move, cliche, I must say. Round 7 is Tree ending in the freaking hospital. She fainted in Carter's room and fools the doctor into getting a soda and escapes, finds a baby mask, thinking it's the professor, kills her. But nope, it's someone else. But we won't know until later on, and Tree finds the professor's car and drives it thinking she escaped it, but a cop pulls her over and arrests her thinking she's drunk, and Babyface kills the cop and burns her in the police car, which is absolutely ridiculously dumb and bad as a sequence. Round 8. Is Tree silencing Carter like Gandalf is really over the top. Tree predicts this round is rather predictable, and her belching and farting at the diner was rather an immature but dumb humor. And I'm thinking this is a stupid raunchy comedy that's rated PG-13. Because remember, this is PG-13, guys. Because that's what it feels like. And next thing you know, with John Toombs, which she's led to believe is the killer. And she stops him as he escapes and kills Carter after he tries to save her, and realizes if she stops the killing of herself, Carter doesn't live, which is pretty freaking pointless. And before I get to round 9, I want to just say right now, I don't like those PG-13 rated horror movies because they don't turn out as scary as the R-rated ones. Okay, let's move on to round 9. Is being her a happy and good person and saves global warming and save the person who passes out with the pillow, and she tells Tim to be a gay man because that's what he is from earlier, and waves to the Chinese girl in the porch and confuses Lori. She's been a bad roommate and stops seeing the professor. And Becky with Tree gets some lunch and pours some chocolate milk on Stephanie and kisses Carter and sees her father for her birthday. And all this is not making me care about it at all. And that's a serious problem with the script. And fights and shoots John Toombs and hangs out with Carter, which will lead up to round 10, and that's really annoying, but it might be the final round, as what I'm getting the impression. Round 10, and the final round, is Tree freaking out and trying to go away for good, and Lori, her roommate, as Tree poisons her cup. As Lori poisons her Tree's cupcake with the cupcake, because a guy named Gregory, and the fact that Tree is a dumb bitch, is she figures out it was Lori, and they fight, and Tree kicks Lori's crazy ass out the window, and Tree and Carter are at the diner, and Carter asking Tree out, and the funniest thing was Groundhog Day, the Bill Murray movie, was brought up, but the final sequence was rather ridiculous. But the ending is Carter pretending to be her father, calling her, and tells Tree it was him calling her, and I honestly did not care. I'm really scared about this sequel, guys. Now it's time to rate the original Happy Death Day. I'll give this movie a 3.7 out of 10. This is a stupid movie with characters I just do not like. The plot is unoriginal and unconvincing, and as it's a Groundhog Day ripoff, and I'm going to be honest and say I'm not looking forward to the sequel, but it makes me nervous, but I'll come in with an open mind. I'll just say that much. And I would like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with Happy Death Day to you. And until next time, Happy Death Day.